Husks are the aggressive, mindless foot soldiers of the Reaper armies. They are created by impaling either living or dead humans on mechanical spikes that rapidly extract water and trace minerals and replace them with cybernetics. These cybernetics reanimate the lifeless flesh and tissue, transforming the bodies into horrifying killing machines. The Reapers use large groups of Husks to overwhelm the enemy. The Husks' inability to feel pain, as well as their tendency to attack in groups, makes them particularly deadly adversaries.
Unless you have something that recharges quickly, like throw. Alright, let's take a look at weapons, armor, and equipment. Some of this might be the same.
Although melee combat applications for the Omni tool are almost as old as the device itself, the feature was largely unused prior to the Reaper invasion. The need to take on multiple Husks in close quarters forced the Alliance to develop ways to enhance the tool's offensive capability. The most common melee design is the Omni Blade, a disposable silicon carbide weapon flash-forged by the tool's mini fabricator. The transparent, nearly diamond-hard blade is created and suspended in a mass effect field safely away from the user's skin. Warning lights illuminate the field so the searing hot blade only burns what it is intended to: the opponent. More technically adept soldiers frequently modify their Omni tools to maximize stopping power through electrical, kinetic, or thermal energy. Some troops integrate the weapon with their kinetic barriers, transforming the Omni tool into a wrist-mounted bludgeon. Others fabricate flammable gases, held in place by a mass effect field and ignited upon impact. All prove deadly surprises for opponents who expect a disarmed Alliance warrior.
You gotta get the Omni tool off of them now, because we got blades. Alright, so there's a lot of secondary stuff here. Many of it will be repeated from the first games, I assume. So yeah, they talk about the Rachni a bit. We're gonna skip that. Non-council races, there's the Collectors. Right. I think, actually... No, this is new. Living beyond the Omega-4 mass relay and the Terminus systems, the mysterious Collector species is glimpsed so rarely as to be taken for a myth by most in galactic society. In reality, Collectors are human-sized insectoid bipeds and can resemble massive winged beetles. They are a terrifying force in the galaxy, responsible for the murder of hundreds of thousands. Collectors generate permanent stasis fields around themselves, creating nightmarish red-shifted energy fields. In battle, they hold position whenever possible, relying on their aggressive biotics and nearly limitless power. Several types of bipedal, or bipedal, either way, Collectors have been identified, including minions, defenders, zealots, assassins, and artillery operators. Don't remember that. Acting together, Collectors have imprisoned entire cities in stasis. While no definitive forensic accounting exists to explain the fate of those imprisoned, leading speculation is that victims are harvested for scientific experimentation and neurobiological repurposing. Not just neurological, neurobiological. Varen we have seen before, Vorcha we have seen before, and Yogg we have seen before. Are we gonna get to see Yogg? I would rather not. Right. Yeah, we have seen that one. We saw it in the DLC, so if you missed it, that would be new for you. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this only shows up if you got the DLC in the last one, but probably not. It's probably new. All right, First Contact War, we have seen that before. The Mass Effect timeline we have seen. I'm sure some new stuff has been added to the bottom here. Yeah, just this 2185 thing. An alien race known as the Collectors abducts thousands of human colonists in the Terminus systems. Commander Shepard leads a team beyond the Omega-4 relay to attack the Collectors where they live, stopping the abductions. And 2186 is the current date. Ooh, this one is new. Special Operations for the System Alliance. Interplanetary Combatives Training is the, or ICT, is the System Alliance's premier school for leadership and combat expertise. The Interplanetary Combatives Academy, sometimes called N School or the Villa, recruits officers from every branch of Earth's militaries to partake in grilling courses at Via Militar in Rio de Janeiro. Initially, candidates trained for more than 20 hours per day, leading small combat teams through hostile terrains with little sleep or food. Yeah, that sucks. Trainees who do well are awarded an internal designation of N1 and are invited to return. Subsequent courses, N2 through N6, are often held off-planet and include instruction in zero-G combat, military freefall, parachuting, jetpack flight, combat diving, combat instruction, linguistics, and frontline trauma care for human and alien biology. The highest grade of training, in 6, provides actual combat experience in conflict zones throughout the galaxy. If the trainee survives these scenarios in admirable and effective fashion, he or she finally receives the coveted N7 designation. N7 is the only ICT designation that may be worn on field or dress uniforms. There's little shame in failing an N course. The training is so extreme that even qualifying for N1 elevates an officer to a position of respect. The universal prestige of merely attending the academy helps to restrain trainees from taking excessive risks in pursuit of higher honors. Though ICT qualification by itself does not guarantee higher rank, those officers who are able to complete the program are typically well-suited to senior leadership positions. Yeah, I think that's the first time we actually got an explanation for N7. All right, planets. Ao we've talked about, Pharaohs we've talked about, Freedom's Progress we've talked about, Haestrom. Yeah, we talked about that one. Ilium, I spent quite a bit of time. Ilos, we spent some time there in the first game. Corliss. Right, we did spend some time in Corliss. Novaria was a major thing in the first game. Omega was major in the second game. Pragia or Pragia? Can't remember how they said it. We spent some time there. Rakana is the Drell homeworld, so we've talked about that one. Terminus systems, obviously, we spent a lot of time there. Migrant fleet, I spent a lot of good time in the Migrant fleet. That was fun. Perseus Vale, we've talked about. Vermeer, I saved some people there. Ships and vehicles, the FTL drive, we've talked about. We've talked about the military ship classifications. The Normandy SR-1 is probably the same thing that was there before. In space combat, they kind of just combined all the stuff that was in previous stuff. Yeah, this looks very similar to stuff that I've read before. All right, technology, artifacts. Prothean artifacts is what they're talking about. We have seen that before. AI versus VI, we've gone over that extensively. Reaper War, this is going to be new. The fall of Earth. The Reapers took Earth in a matter of hours. The Alliance knew the first wave would arrive from Batarian space, but they were unprepared for the speed and scale of the attack. The Reapers bypassed the 6th and 7th fleets at Terra Nova and Eden Prime, flying straight from relay to relay, where they could neither be tracked nor intercepted. The tactic was unexpected since the navies of organic species would never risk coming out of FTL within combat range, or leaving enemies at their backs to threaten supply lines. At Arcturus Station, more than a dozen Reaper capital ships engaged the Alliance's 2nd, 3rd, and 5th fleets. This was mere screening for the main force. Dozens more capital ships continued through the Charon relay, where the 1st fleet had been lying in wait but was soon destroyed. The 4th fleet, near Earth, had a few minutes of advance warning. It stood no better chance. After destroying Earth's comm buoys, smaller Reaper destroyers wiped out all GPS and communication satellites in Earth's orbit and cut the undersea fiber optic cables that linked the continents. They knew where those were? Earth's resistance now relies on outdated radio towers and a few quantum entanglements communicators whose matched pairs happen to be on other continents or outside the Sol system. Communication is so limited that the fate of entire nations remains unknown. I'm going to assume they didn't make it. The capital ships bombarded defense installations and industrial centers, annihilating entire cities with populations in the low millions, including Adelaide, Hamburg, Al-Jubail, and Fort Worth. I know Adelaide, I know Hamburg, and I know Fort Worth. This one, I don't know Al-Jubail. It's in the Middle East somewhere. That I could tell you. Meanwhile, Reaper destroyers descended into the atmosphere to melt roads and capture population centers with minimal loss of life. This is not an example of the Reapers being merciful. More likely, they are hurting their prey to make the coming harvest that much easier. Super. The fall of Karshan. For every 1,000 Batarian refugees, there are 1,001 stories about how the Reapers invaded the Batarian systems. A few elements are common to almost every version, however. The Reapers arrived first in the Vular system and immediately destroyed its communications network. The Hegemony's Department of Information Control blamed the loss of signal on space weather, but scrambled ships to the system nonetheless. Within a day, Reaper capital ships appeared in the Harsa system and descended on the Batarian homeworld, Karshan. For all the rhetoric about the Hegemony's military prowess, their response to the Reapers was uncoordinated. Moments after the information minister took to the extranet and announced that unknown ships were destroying all space traffic near Karshan, the defense minister declared there was no reason to panic. The planet's comm buoys were destroyed next, creating an ominous silence that has persisted ever since. Fearing they were next, Batarian colonies across Hegemony space began evacuations. So many refugees poured into the human-occupied Exodus cluster that Systems Alliance officials at first thought the Batarians were invading. More systems have gone dark as their comm buoys were destroyed, and millions more Batarians, trapped on their planets, sit waiting for the Reapers. I'd recommend doing something else than just waiting for them, but what do I know? Alright. Body armor. I think we have gone over this before. Sounds familiar. Shields we've talked about, mass accelerators we've talked about, small arms. I think we have seen them. Yeah, this one... This one sounds like the stuff from Mass Effect 1, because, like, targeting auto-assist projectile shavers that can generate thousands of rounds of ammunition from a small internal block of metal. That's not the case anymore, really. All right, and then the tech armor and fortification, we have gone over this before. So, we spent a lot of time there. I understand, but we still got work to do. Remember, we were on Mars. There's, all right, more achievements.
Looks a lot bigger in person.
Come on, Lieutenant, it's not that bad.
Doesn't mean it can't kill us.
I'm more worried about the war back on Earth, or the fact that nobody here is reporting in.
Fair enough.
We got the solar panels out. Seems inefficient to have them like that, but Mars facility approach. Sure, let's call that the objective. They just kind of point at a thing for me, don't they? Alright. It's kind of a weird walk that I have, too. I kind of glide. Alright, we're going to pick up the M92 Mantis. Let's change the loadout. What kind of loadout do I have? Alright, the M3 Predator can go here. Assault rifles. What? How do I... How do I actually equip it, though? Alright, so I want the Eagle instead. Assault rifles, sniper rifles. Alright, so I want the Crusader. So that's how I do it. I just said it like that. And then it remembers. Okay. Yeah, I want the Crusader instead. Alright, and then we'll switch it for James here. He's only got the one, so that's gonna have to stay as is. And then the Crusader gets to stay. Okay, I'm aware of how this works now. No, I'm gonna say that the Valiant's a little bit better. The fire rate, you know what? The damage might overweigh it. It is a sniper rifle after all, so we'll leave it like that. Doesn't look like I can do anything there. All right, so completely new system. Hopefully I have it figured out properly.
Holy shit. They're executing them.
that going to be something I need to deal with? They gave me an ammo over there. I'm going to say yes. They won't let me target. Oh, they will let me target them. Do I just go in guns blazing?
It's a clear shot.
Yep. James says yes. I'm going to have to listen to James here.
They know we're here now.
Come on! Come on! They have such a long cooldown now! They didn't have this before. Look at the cooldown. It's kind of ridiculous. Right, now I'm fighting Cerberus people? I mean, I'm okay with that, just a little unexpected, you know? Where did that go? Yeah, look at the cooldown on this. This was not what was going on when I first started. Alright, so we're good? Still have tech armor on. I didn't have to reload that. That's nice.
Those guys were Cerberus, weren't they?
Sure look like it. What's Cerberus doing here on Mars? Good question.
Why am I
You don't
fighting
know?
them?
I'm not with them anymore, Ash, if that's what you're asking. It wasn't, but you have to admit, it's a bit convenient.
I'm usually nice. Why was I mean there? Yeah, I'm not with Cerberus. How dare you? Like, it is kind of a weird question. Alright, so far so good. Yeah, I just need to mash throw at this point. Nope. A little bit better than a
Doesn't look
regular.
like they came here in force.
Yeah, just a few vehicles. Kinda suggests they had help from the inside. Seems likely. You'd need a lot more men and firepower to take this place otherwise.
Alright, well, thank you for filling me in on the details. See what we can find inside.
Commander, I thought you told Cerberus to screw off after you wiped out that collector base they were after.
That's exactly what I did.
Kind of.
Well, one thing's for sure. They're no friend of the Alliance.
Agreed.
Elevator. This can only mean bad things.
Need a straight answer, Shepard.
What?
About what? Do you know anything about this? What is Cerberus doing here? What makes you think I know what they're up to? You worked for them. How am I supposed to believe you've cut all ties?
I'm still trying to figure out why the helmets are still on, but I guess we need them. There's no atmosphere here. All right, so it was a temporary alliance, or they worked for me. I kind of want to yell that at her, but no, it was temporary. Do you see the N7? I like that now.
We joined forces to take down the collectors. That's it. They rebuilt you from scratch. They gave you a ship, resources. Let me be clear. I've had no contact with Cerberus since I destroyed the collector base. And I have no idea why they're here now or what they want.
Commander Shepard's been under constant surveillance since coming back to Earth. No way they've communicated since.
Sorry, Shepard. I just...
We've been through a lot. I won't say get over it,
I shouldn't have to explain myself to you, Ash.
but I did.
Please trust me.
I do. It's just that.
It's Liara! We have to save her! Like, immediately. Or she could save herself. It's also an option. 'Cause 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 'Cause
Easy there, Lieutenant. She's with us.
Damn right she's with us. Well, me, specifically.
Shepard, thank the goddess you're alive.
You too, Liara.
I was so worried when the reports came in. I'm sorry about Earth.
Yeah, it was difficult to leave.
Ashley, I'm sorry. But why'd you come here?
Hackett ordered us to come. Said you know what was going on.
Why is she here, though?
I do.
Hallelujah. Some answers, finally.
Maybe. I've discovered plans for a Prothean device. One that could wipe out the Reapers.
Here? On Mars?
In the Prothean archives, yes.
Is this just an informational one? We're just learning this now? Or is that actually going to move forward? I'm going to say that's an informational one, so we're going to try it. I want to be so nice to Liara, though.
We've known about the archives for decades. Why now?
Process of elimination, mixed with a little desperation. When you destroyed the Alpha Relay, you bought us some time. But then you were under investigation. I knew I had to do something. Hackett knew it too. He contacted me, asking if I would use my resources as a shadow broker to find a way to stop the Reapers.
So she is the shadow
My
broker.
search led me here. Hackett got me access to the archives and kept me updated on your status. I meant to come see you, but...
I missed you too. So much, baby.
I would have liked that. But under the circumstances, I think I can forgive you.
You're too kind.
She's not looking at me.
In any case, my work paid off. The archives are full of data, an overwhelming amount. I think I found what we need.